Chapter 30. The New Earth. All of our lives, when we attended church, we heard the following verses from the Bible. I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heavens. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things are passed away. Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And the new city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign for ever and ever. Revelations 21-22. Many different explanations have been offered by the Church since the writing of the Bible, but the book of Revelation has remained enigmatic until now. The explanations in this book that have been brought forth through many people while in deep trance seem to hold the answers. They have described the kingdom of God many times as a place of light where they have great joy being reunited with the Creator, the Source. At that time, every one of them have become beings of light, and there is no desire to return to the earthly physical form. This explains some of the meanings of the verses, but what about the prophecy of the new earth? Again, the answer seems to come through many of my subjects during my sessions. It was only as I was putting the book together that the similarity to the Bible became apparent. We are all talking about the same thing. John, who wrote the book of Revelation, put his vision in the words that he could find in his time period and his vocabulary. It is the same today. My subjects had to use the terminology they were familiar with. I know, therefore, that we are only seeing a small portion of the total picture of the new world that is coming, but it was the best they could do. It at least gives us a glimpse of this wonderful and perfect place. During my work, I have heard much about everything being composed of energy, and the shape and form is only determined by the frequency and vibration of each particular thing. Energy never dies, it only changes form. I have been told that the earth itself is changing its vibration and frequency, and it is preparing to raise itself into a new dimension. There are countless dimensions surrounding us all the time. We cannot see them because as the vibration speeds up, they are invisible to our eyes, but they still exist nonetheless. In my book, The Custodians, I explained how the extraterrestrials utilize this and travel by raising and lowering the vibrations of their craft. Sometimes we also go to other dimensions and return and are not aware of this. This was written about in the legend of Starcrash. So I have touched on the subject over the years, but I did not understand the full meaning of it until I began receiving more and more information about it. They want us to know more about it because it is coming soon, and it will be a monumentous event. Of course, even in the Bible, it was described as coming soon. But now we can see and feel the effects all around us as the world prepares to shift into a new dimension. They said that we will notice the physical effects more as the frequencies and vibrations increase. Many of us can sense on another level of our being that something is happening. With the changes subtly going on all around us, our physical bodies must also change in order to adjust. Some of these physical symptoms are unpleasant and cause concern. You will see and notice that as the frequency of the planet continues to raise in terms of its vibration, you will have less difficulty with symptoms of energy blockages. Throughout my work, my subjects are being told that they must change their diet in order to make the adjustments into the new world. Our bodies must become lighter, and this means the elimination of heavy foods. During the sessions, my clients are warned repeatedly to stop eating meats, mainly because of the additives and chemicals that are being fed to the animals. These are being transferred to our bodies and remain deposited in the organs for a long time. It is very difficult to eliminate these toxins from our body. We were especially cautioned against eating animal protein and fried foods which act as an irritant to the body. These act as aggravators to your system after many years of misuse. We do not mean to be judgmental, but the body is built for a certain type of vehicular traffic. The body cannot ascend in frequency to higher dimensional realms if the density and the toxins are polluting the environment of the human body. We were told to avoid beef and pork especially, because of the additives that are fed to the animals. Of course, if you are lucky enough to find organic meats that do not contain toxins, that would be safe, in moderation. They say chicken was better and fish, but the best of all was live vegetables. This means those that are eaten raw rather than cooked. We were also cautioned about the elimination of sugar and the consumption of more pure bottled water and fruit juices that contain no sugar. Eventually, as the frequency and vibration continues to increase, we will adapt to a liquid diet. The body must become lighter in order to make the ascension. As the energies on the planet continue to become heightened and more rarefied, your body needs to shift with it. Of course, none of this is new. We have been told for many years about these facts of nutrition. But it seems to be necessary now to pay extra attention to our diet as everything is beginning to change. In 2001, they stepped in to drastically get my attention and cause me to change my diet and lifestyle. During the sessions, they would literally yell at me to get their message across. In 2001, I had problems with dehydration while in Florida and was experiencing unpleasant physical effects. They reprimanded me and made me give up my standard drink, Pepsi, which I had indulged in for many years. They completely turned my eating and drinking habits around and changed my diet for the better. By 2002, I had cleared a great deal of the toxins from my system, and I was noticing a difference. It took several more months before I was detoxified, so to speak. Every time they get a chance, they let me know that they are still monitoring me, and I am scolded when they see me slipping back into old habits. During a session in England, they said, "To understand the new energies in which you will be working, the body is being taught how to deal with this. One must never forget that there are energies out there that are not going to work with you. At this point, maybe these energies are not to be thrown away and pushed away from you. Because they are not familiar to you, you are thinking. They are not correct. They are to be drawn into you and asked, what are they? In fact, they are new energies. Maybe they are readjusting your body, and in doing so, they are removing toxins. Your kidneys especially will be working with a non-accepted energy of the past. Just accepting that the cleansing process is and will occur. I was then given a process to energize the water we drink, to help in the detoxification process. Water and the basis of 70% of yourself and 70% of the planet is so far beyond importance, it is unbelievable. So therefore, the resonance of the water you bring into your body is so very important. When you drink water, energize it with the knowledge you have. Send that knowledge. Spiral it in. Imagine the water spiraling, creating a vortex in a both clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, creating the positive and negative key. You must move it out of balance. Imagine an energy entering the water and spiraling and creating a vortex. That is all it has to do. The thought will then energize the water. That will then reintroduce life force back into the water, which is the life force acceptance of the planet. All fluid on this planet, whether it is rock or whether it is fluid liquid, is liquid in a slower or faster motion. Everything has the resonance and memory of what it is. Humanity has lost the resonance and memory of what it is, but water can re-energize. Man's human thought format processes back into and helps work with its resonance. You must bear in mind that this energization of a bottle of water may only last a few hours. You may need to reintroduce it. So the formula may be, before you drink any liquid, do the same process. You can also do the same with food. Food simply being liquid in a slower motion. This will help with the body. This will also help clarify and create a place called clarity within your mind through format, because you have started losing some of the clarity. This clarity will come back. From an email sent from an unknown source, time is actually speeding up or collapsing. For thousands of years, the Schumann resonance or pulse, heartbeat, of the Earth has been 7.83 cycles per second. The military have used this as a very reliable reference. However, since 1980, this resonance has been slowly rising. It is now over 12 cycles per second. This means there is the equivalent of less than 16 hours per day instead of the old 24 hours. One of the indications that the frequency and vibration is occurring is the speeding up and shortening of time. Subject: starting in 2003, there will be an influx of energy that is going to repeatedly propel the Earth. There is going to be a greater schism between the group of people that are going to be staying behind and the people that are going forward. The outcome will be a higher vibrational increase in Earth. This is affecting the whole universe. This is not just the Earth. This is galactic. More information about how our bodies and the entire world will go through the dimensional shift process, and it will be undetected by those around who do not make the shift or change. Our bodies and everything around us are now increasing their vibratory rate and adjusting to a new frequency. Every cell of the body begins to vibrate at such a fast rate that it turns into light. When this begins, the temperature of the body increases, and the body starts to glow with light. When every cell is vibrating at a very high rate, you will disappear from normal vision and move into a higher dimensional reality. This is because the body has moved in vibration beyond the third dimension and is now vibrating on a much higher dimensional level. This then means that you will not go through the death process, as you will then have a light body. Aging will not exist for you, and you will have stepped into the next dimensional reality. You can then access the next stage of spiritual evolution. They have emphasized that this has happened down through time to certain individuals and small groups of people. But what makes it unique now is that it will be the first time that an entire planet will make the shift into another dimension. This will be the new Earth and the new world. This is described in the Bible as the new heaven and the new earth. The others who are not ready will be left behind, just as it says in the Bible, to continue to live out their karma. They will not even be aware that anything has happened. Those who have not become enlightened will have to return to another denser planet that is still involved with negativity to work out the remaining karma. They will not be allowed to come to the new earth because their vibration will not match. A few years ago, I was on a panel at a conference with Annie Kirkwood, the author of Mary's Message to the World. She told about a vision she had that seems to portray the evolution of the new earth. She saw the earth as it is viewed from outer space. Then it started looking like two earths, one superimposed of the other. There were little lines of flashing lights going between both Earths. Then, as she watched, she saw it begin to pull apart, the way a cell does when it is dividing to produce another cell. One Earth went off in one direction, and the other one went in the other direction. On the one Earth, she and the others were exclaiming, "Yes, yes! It really happened! We did it!" And on the other Earth she heard her sister's voice. "That girl was so crazy. She was out there telling everybody all these crazy things and nothing happened. She just died." So it appears that when the final event occurs, there will be some people that will not even be aware that anything has occurred. This will be the separation of those who go on with the new Earth and those who are left behind on the old Earth, which will still be steeped in negativity. After a lecture where I told the audience about this vision, I walked off the stage and was surrounded by people as I went to the table to sign books. A man pushed his way through and asked to speak to me. With a serious face he said, "Something very unusual just happened to me." He paused and hesitated, not knowing how he would be received. "You have to know that I am an engineer, very down to earth, and these kinds of things don't happen to me. When you were describing the vision of the two Earths splitting in two, suddenly the auditorium disappeared, and I found myself in outer space. As I watched, I saw it happen, just the way you described it. I saw the two Earths split, and the new one was superimposed over the old one." You could tell he was very shaken. He said he would go home and try to reproduce on the computer what he had seen. A week later he emailed us the picture, and we have printed it here. It is much more beautiful and vibrant in color, but it shows the new Earth glowing as it separates from the old one. Here is some of the information that came from various subjects about the new Earth. The entity speaking through V had a deep, gravelly voice. "I've been getting so much information from different people, and they say the Earth is undergoing a transition. They say it will be like a raising into another, changing vibration."
The whole idea we have is to get people to expand just a little bit. And we've got to get this level raised just a little bit. And when we do, we can make that change and make it easier for them. It will be the ones that we can't get to change that are going to be left behind. It's going to be horrible. It's the ones that we can't get to change. We can't get them to see. We can't get them to love.
Then the others, the ones that will change and love, they will go into another world, another Earth.
It's like it's going to expand into another dimension. Let me see how I can explain this to you. It's like a raising, if you can understand, like we're going to raise into a different vibration. We'll be able to see what's going on. We can't stop them. We can't help them anymore.
Is it like a separation? Like two Earths? Is that what you mean?
Oh, no, no. It's a changing of dimension. We're going to go from here to here, and those that can't change will be left behind.
When we go into the other dimension, will it be like a physical Earth?
It will be just like we are right now.
That's what I meant by two Earths.
Yes, yes, but they're not going to be aware of us. God help them. God help them. It's going to be so terrible for them.
They won't know what has happened?
No, they will know. That's the whole idea. They will know, but it's too late.
But you said they'd be left behind, and they can't join the other world.
No, it will be too late for them to change their vibrations. They can't change it in a second. They have to change it over a period of time. We've been working on this for a while. It has to seep in and work on your body, and it has to slowly change and raise your vibrations. And when it happens, it's going to be too late for them, but they will see it, though. They will die, but they will see it, and they will learn from that.
That world will still exist, but it will be different?
Not very well, no, not very well. There won't be much left in that world. Not much.
Many people will die at that time?
Yes, but I think much of their death will be painless. I think they will live just long enough to see what's happening. And I think God will spare them the horrible, traumatic pain. I pray that's what will happen.
But the others that do shift into the new vibration with an identical physical world, interrupted.
Yes, but some won't even be aware that they've made the change. Some will. Those that have been working towards it will know.
Will they know about the people being left behind?
I don't think so. There will be an awareness of a change that took place. I'm not sure if it's going to be a conscious awareness. Let me think about that. We'll go into this dimension and we'll know. Some won't know, though. They'll feel something. They'll feel a difference. Almost like a cleanness, a clearness, a crispness, a difference. I know what it is. They'll feel the difference. They'll feel the love.
So even if they haven't been working toward it, they will be carried along with it.
Yes, because they're ready for it.
And the other ones won't be.
They're not. They're not.
So they're left in the negativity? You said the whole world is going to be changed at that time.
Yes, those that can go on. Those that can move into this will move. And those that can't won't. And it'll be horrible for them.
And it will be like two worlds anyway.
Yes, two worlds existing at the same time, but not always aware of each other.
I know when you're in a different dimension, you're not always aware of the other one. But that's the message you want to get across, is that we should spread this information about love while we still can, to bring as many as possible along.
Love is the key, because God is love, and love is God. And love is the supreme power. And that's what we need to feel in our lives, what we need to give to each other and feel for each other.
Yes, love has always been the key. So they're trying to tell as many people so that they can bring them along. That's what the urgency is.
The urgency is that we've run out of time. Just be prepared. What? Tell her what?
She was listening to someone else. There were mumbling sounds, then the deep, gravelly voice returned.
Tell you, ready. Ready for the change coming soon. Soon now. Ready. She's not a good vehicle. She's not done this before. I can't get my ideas through her to convey to you. I must work on it. Let's cleanse this vehicle. Oh, yes. There. That's better.
What is it that you want to tell me?
Must help all mankind. Tell them of what is to come soon. Changes. Dimensional shift. Those that can hear you will hear you. They'll be ready for that dimensional shift.
Her normal voice returned.
Those that can't will not accept it anyway, so they'll think we're crazy. But the others, they may not know it, but it will touch a spark in them. When it happens, they'll be ready, and they can make that shift. They may not know it's coming, but something inside will be ready for it, and they'll be able to make it. It's those that don't know that it's coming, but if we tell them it's inside them, then when it happens, it'll come out, and they'll be ready for it.
Let me ask you one more question. Those of us that do make the shift, will we continue to live our lives the way we have?
No, better, different, longer.
Will we continue physical lives?
Oh, physical in that dimension, yes, but physical in this dimension, no.
But I mean, if we make the shift, will we
Will you live or die?
will we continue lives as we know it?
Yes, some will not even be aware. You see, that little thing that we plant in their head will help them make the dimensional shift, and they may not even know it. But they'll know there's destruction. They'll see destruction. They'll see what's taking place, and they'll see the dead bodies. but they won't know that they've made that shift. They won't be aware of the fact that the reason they're not down there dead is because they made that shift and that change didn't affect them.
You said something about the things that are put in the head. Do you mean the implants?
No. I mean a seed, a thought. They don't know it consciously, but inside that will help them. It's like a spark that, when the time comes, their mind would have accepted it subconsciously already.
But as we make the shift, we will continue to live our lives. I have heard that we will live longer.
Longer, better, learn. Things will be so much better. People will learn more after a little while. They'll know more. They'll become more aware of things, the way things are. They may not know when they make the shift, but then they'll learn about it. They'll realize after a while what's happened.
And the ones that are not ready will be left on the other earth.
Yes, they'll be gone.
And many on both places won't even realize that something dramatic has occurred.
The ones on the other place will. They'll be dead. But they'll know, because that's the lesson they've learned. Once they die, they will know. They will see the truth. And they will see what opportunity they missed. But they will learn from that.
I have also been told that when they reincarnate, if they have negativity, karma, to repay, they will no longer come to Earth because the Earth will have changed so much.
They will not be allowed to come back here until they've made the switch. They've made the change.
I've heard they will go somewhere else to work out their karma because they have missed the opportunity.
Yes, some will. And some may be given an opportunity to come back, but it will be a while. A long, long while.
But in the meantime, we will be going forward and learning new things and making progress in a whole new world.
What a beautiful world! A world of light and peace where people can live together and love one another.
But it will still be a physical world with our families and houses like we have now.
Just a smarter world.
That I can understand. Another subject who was experiencing unexplained physical symptoms described the new body in this way.
She is identifying more with her future body. It's not really settled in yet, but it's there. And this future body takes her essence or portions of her and merges it or pulls it up so she will get used to this future body.
Will the body physically change?
Some, yes. It will be stronger and younger. This body that she is in now, it could be healed and redone, but she needs the future body. It will be lighter, more capable. She is feeling this now. Her essence has been merging with this future body and pulled up.
So this body she has now will be changed?
It will be essentially left behind. It's going to be transformed, and parts of it that aren't needed will be dropped away.
So it's not like leaving one body and going into another.
No. Gradually the newer body and the older body will be mostly merged together. But there will be certain parts of the older body that won't be necessary, so they will be left behind. It will just disintegrate.
It will probably be so gradual that we will not even notice the difference, except for the physical symptoms that some are experiencing as the body makes the adjustments. I have been told that the older generation may be more aware that something is happening in the body. Yet it does no good to worry about it, since it's a natural process that is occurring now to everyone as a part of the evolution of the new Earth. This was part of a longer session in 2002, where the subject had a connection with extraterrestrials. They were supplying information about many things, including what they could do, or were allowed to do, to correct the damage mankind has done to the Earth.
They're moving me forward. They're moving my body. Oh my God, I'm getting dizzy.
I gave calming suggestions so she would not have any physical effects. She calmed down and stabilized. The feeling of motion dissipated. This experience had also happened to other subjects I have worked with, when they are moved too quickly through time and space. What are they showing you now?
All I see is a light. It's just a brilliant explosion of light right now. There are different colors in the light. The planet is being bombarded with a special light, and it contains different colors. And these different colors affect the consciousness of people in different ways. But it not only affects people, it affects plants and animals and rocks and water and everything. It's a certain type of white light, and it has all types of colors in it. And it changes and moves, and it permeates the very core of the planet. I see it's coming from the core of the planet. They shoot it down from, I guess, the ships, and it touches the core of the planet, and it bounces out from the core and affects everything from an inward to an outward movement. If you were standing on the planet, you would feel the energies coming through your feet and coming out through the top of your head.
The opposite of what it usually does.
This is different. It's coming from the ships to the core of the planet, and then it's bouncing back up. And it's affecting the whole planet. They don't want us to blow ourselves up.
Is this something that is happening in 2002, or is it happening in the future?
This is the future. They're going to do it, to correct the alignment in the planet to keep anything bad from happening. 2006.
2006. Will we have gotten the planet more out of alignment by this time?
Yes, yes. Oh, there are people on the planet, and they're praying, but it's not enough, because it's so messed up. It's going to get out of its orbit, and that will affect the rest of the cosmos. So by them directing these energies to the core of the planet, it's going to come back up, and that will correct the alignment. And when it corrects the alignment, it will also correct many other things on the planet. It will help the flooding, the droughts, and things like that man has brought upon the planet. There's not going to be an annihilation of this planet. The Council makes sure that it won't happen. The beings are down here on the planet watching, and they know what's going on, and they know who's doing it, and they can affect them. It's not that we can't intervene. We're not allowed to intervene.
Because there's some things you can't do.
That's right, but we can watch, and we know who's doing it.
But whenever the planet gets to the point that man has damaged it so much, that's when you can help?
That's when we're going to send these, I see multicolored lights. It's like multicolored shafts of energy, and they're being shot down into the core of the planet. And then they bounce back out, and it affects the whole planet, and it will keep the planet in alignment.
Is this being done by many ships?
It's a confederation. I see many. I see different levels or classifications of beings affecting the planet. We're involved in that. There are many, many beings.
So it's a massive job.
A confederation. Yes, yes.
But isn't it dangerous to shoot things at the core of the planet? Hasn't something gone wrong before when that happened? I was thinking of the destruction of Atlantis. This was partially caused by scientists focusing the energy from the giant crystals downward to the center of the Earth. Too much energy was created and contributed to the earthquakes and gigantic tidal waves.
This is not what you think. This is pure light energy. And the only effect it will have on the planet is good. It will not harm the planet.
I was thinking of what they did in Atlantis.
This is not the same thing. It's hard for me to explain. This is done on a soul level. It's like pure divine energy. It's not the energy in Atlantis. The energy in Atlantis was done through atomic power. This is energy that the divine has created that is done through light. It's not done through the separation through molecular structures. This is something we have created, and we send it from the source. Anything that's from the source is good, and it's not going to harm the planet. It's going to do what we want it to do, and we've been allowed to do this. It is because the planet has caused this that we are taking this action. It's necessary.
Isn't this interference?
No, we cannot interfere with the people here. We can't come down and bully them and tell them what to do. But we can bring our ships, and we can point this energy at the core of the Earth. We can do things like this. This is actually on a soul level. So therefore we are not interfering with the karmic structure of the people here. Everyone here has a karmic purpose, and we are not interfering with that. We're not allowed to. We don't do that.
Do the people on Earth see this when it happens?
They feel it. In other words, they'll go through the transformation and they won't realize what's happened to them. Some of them will realize. Those who are sensitive will know that something has happened. But many on the planet will just go on in their normal lives, and they will be lifted up, and they will be changed, and the Earth will be changed, the rocks and the water. But they'll just go on existing, because we are not affecting the karmic pattern. We can't do that. We are doing this on a soul level, but it's not affecting their Earth lives as far as karmic patterns go. We're not bothering that.
But the Earth has to get to a certain point before you're allowed to do this.
2006. It's getting bad. It's already very, very bad right now. If it's allowed to continue, the air will harm very many people. And the reason we're involved is, there are people in their physical embodiments breathing this atmosphere with all this pollution, and it's changing their genetic heritage. We cannot let that happen, and we will not let that happen. We gave people of this planet their genetic heritage, and now they have messed up their drinking water, their food, their planet. Everything here is polluted. Man has destroyed his genetic heritage, and we're going to repair it, because they are not going to mess up our experiment. This is a divine experiment, and they can't mess it up. We're going to change it.
To find out more about the grand experiment that mankind has been involved in since its beginning, see my books, Keepers of the Garden and The Custodians.
We have to do this. The whole planet was destroyed many times. You know about Atlantis. There have been many other explosions, floods. This is something that we can't allow to happen at this time, because it's going to affect the rest of the cosmos. And the Earth is coming a little more out of alignment. And we will be putting the planet not only back in alignment, but we will also help cleanse and clear the genetic structure of everything and everyone on the planet. And this has been put forth, and it's agreed upon, and it will be done. Because mankind has reached the point that it will not be cleaned up soon enough before it destroys the genetic makeup that we created.
So it only has to get out of alignment just a little before it will affect the other.
It's already affected other, not only civilizations in a physical realm that you know, but also on higher planes. That's why we're going to do this.
The various universes are so interwoven and interconnected that if the rotation or trajectory of one is disturbed, it affects all the others. In the extreme case, this could cause all the universes to collapse on themselves and disintegrate. This is one of the reasons for the monitoring of the planet Earth by ETs, to detect any problems caused by our negative influences and alert the other galaxies and universes so countermeasures can be initiated. They have to know what the Earth is up to, so the rest of the universes, galaxies, and dimensions can protect themselves and survive. I thought if you were going to have a massive project like that on Earth, people would be able to see all these ships.
Oh, you typical Earthling. No, you can't see our ships. We're in different dimensions. There are many different vibrational rates. You won't even be able to see the light, but it's there. At some time, your scientists will be able to measure this type of energy. At some point, the scientists will be able to determine that we are in the atmosphere, and they'll see our ships. They will have machines and devices so they can determine where our ships are. But they don't have the technology right now because we've moved across the veil and we're in, shall we call it, an astral realm. It's a higher level than that, but it's a finer level. And your eyes can't see them. But in the future they will have machines that can see it.
But they will know something is happening to the energy levels. That something is changing.
It will change, and the people will change. But they're not going to be aware of what has happened. It's going to be a big event, but they're not going to be able to discern it on a physical level. On a soul level they can tell. Subconscious level they'll know, but not on a conscious level, because you're thinking of a physical energy. This is not physical energy. This is energy from God. This is soul energy. And it operates within a different dimension than you're thinking. It's very different.
So the people will feel it, but they won't see it. They'll just know that something is happening in their bodies.
Some will know. Those that are sensitive will know that something has happened, but they won't know what. And that's what we want. We don't want to disrupt anything.
How will this affect the human body?
It will prevent the decay of the genetic material DNA within the body. Like I said, it's becoming damaged, and we can't have that. We can't have a whole race of people damaged. The energy will change the DNA genetic structure of the humans so that it will be more perfect. That's what we really want. We want the humans on the planet to be in perfect harmony, not only with themselves, but with us and the rest of the cosmos. They're not in that right now.
So when the DNA structure is changed, how will the body be different?
When the DNA is changed, the body will be what we wanted it to be many millennia ago. We tried this in Atlantis. It failed. The reason it failed was because the energies were used in a negative way by the beings in Atlantis. We tried to bring forth a more feminine energy back in the days of Atlantis, which would raise up and cause a union between the divine male and divine female. It failed. Therefore, the planet Earth went through many, many, many thousands of years with women being subjugated and the feminine energies being suppressed. Now, this is the time that both will be equal. The male and female divine energies will join, and this will make for a perfect being, like Christ. Everyone here will realize they can be a perfect Christ when these energies are in balance. The energies have not been in balance. They've been out of balance for thousands of years. That's why there are so many problems on the planet. So when the DNA structure is altered, the divine energies, the male-female, the yin and the yang, of the God energies, can unite, and there will be perfection upon the planet. Perfection within the bodies. And this planet will be something that we can show to the rest of the worlds, the rest of the cosmos. That this is our experiment, and this is what we have done, and it has succeeded. The light has succeeded, because it will be perfect as we have wanted it to be for thousands of years. When we first came here, it was perfect. You've probably been told that. It was altered. You know the meteorite came, disease came. Everything was messed up. We're going to have it perfect again, and this is part of that alignment that we'll be doing to make it perfect again. And this is perfectly normal. This is all part of genetics. But the reason that happened was that humans have not been in balance. The divine energies have not been balanced within the psyche or even within the physical mind. But the psyche that comes into the body manifests physically. These have been out of alignment. This causes disease within the body. When the bacteria landed here on the meteorite, had the bodies at that time been in perfect alignment, it wouldn't have mattered. The disease wouldn't have gotten in there. But the bodies had already begun to change when it hit, so there was nothing we could do.
She was referring to the same thing that was mentioned in my book, Keepers of the Garden. which explains that disease was introduced to the Earth and spoiled the grand experiment by a meteorite that struck the Earth when the fledgling species were still developing. This caused a great deal of sorrow in the council in charge of developing life on Earth, because they knew their experiment of creating the perfect human being could not happen under these circumstances. They had to make the decision whether to stop the experiment and start over again, or allow the developing humans to continue, knowing that it would never be the perfect species it was intended to be. It was decided that so much time and effort had been expended in developing humans that they should be allowed to continue. The hope was that maybe sometime in the future the species could develop into the perfect human being with no disease. This is the main reason for the sampling and testing done by the ETs that people misinterpret as negative. They are concerned with the effects of pollutants in the air and chemical contamination of our food on the human body, and they are attempting to alter its effects. The ET continued.
We didn't want to not do the experiment. We couldn't just throw the planet away. We couldn't just let all these life forms, all these souls, be forever altered. We had to step in, and we've been coming here for ages and ages. This is the accumulation of many, many years of work, millions of years. And it's coming very soon, and we're pleased, because mankind has reached the point to where this can be brought forth again upon the planet. As I said, we tried it back many, many thousands of years ago, and it failed. But we expect it to succeed this time. It's already beginning to succeed, and we're very happy about that.
Will all of the people of Earth experience this?
As I said before, everyone will be affected. It's just that there are those who will be sensitive, who will pick up that it has been done. Some people will not realize on a conscious level that it's been done. It's been done on a soul level. If you were to put them in a trance as you have this person now, they would know they have been affected, and they could explain to you what it has done to their genetics. But on a conscious level, they haven't a clue. They don't know, and that's what we want.
I was thinking of negative people, murderers, rapists, beings of that sort. Will they be affected in a different way?
Everyone will be affected. They will know on a subconscious level what has happened. As the subconscious changes and becomes aware of this and is activated, yes.
They still have karma.
This will also be affected because this planet in the future is not going to have karma. That is something that won't be allowed here. It will be a planet of light and peace, and will be our grand experiment that succeeded.
I've been told this is why many in the universe are watching.
Yes, that's right. We're here to do that, and it will be safe.
In the fall of 2006, we received a call at our office from one of the readers asking, "Wasn't it mentioned in the book that something was supposed to happen in 2006? When my daughter Julia remembered it and located the passage. Coincidentally, if anything is ever a coincidence, a few weeks later we received several emails which were sent from people everywhere, alerting them to a cosmic event that was supposed to occur on October 17, 2006. A cosmic trigger event is occurring on the 17th of October 2006, beginning at approximately 10:17 a.m. and continuing until 1:17 a.m. on the 18th. The peak time will be at 5:10 p.m. on the 17th. An ultraviolet UV pulse beam radiating from the higher dimensions will cross paths with the Earth on this day. The Earth will remain within this UV beam for approximately 17 hours of your time, and it will interpenetrate every electron of precious life energy. This beam is radiant fluorescent in nature, blue magenta in color. Although it resonates in this frequency band, it is above the color frequency spectrum of your universe, so it will not be seen. However, due to the nature of your soul, it will have an effect. The effect is that every thought and emotion will be amplified intensely, 1,000,000-fold. Every thought, every emotion, every intent, every will, no matter if it is good, bad, ill, positive, negative, will be amplified 1,000,000 times in strength. Since all matter manifest is due to your thoughts, i.e., what you focus on, this beam will accelerate these thoughts and solidify them at an accelerated rate, making them manifest 1,000,000 times faster than they normally would. The ultraviolet light will bathe every person on the planet. It has the potential of transforming the way humanity thinks and feels. It will create a new, easier pathway for Earth's ascension into the next dimension. This is the beginning of awesome influxes of light that will move this planet up the spiral of evolution by quantum leaps and bounds. So it appears that it has begun. When I had this session and wrote this part of the book, I thought the beam would be coming from the extraterrestrials and being directed from spacecraft. Now it appears that the beam was sent from other dimensions which are invisible to us. I suspect the extraterrestrials are playing their part in all of this also, and helping with the directing of the beam. So apparently it has begun, and many of those who are aware of their bodies and the world around them will notice the effects after that date. Another portion of a session with Phil and Anne, reported in Chapter 22, might be speaking about the same type of power, or it might refer to something else. Anne.
There is an energy source that surrounds this planet. When you see the hue of what you call a red color, that is when you know the change has taken place.
Where will the red color appear?
It will be shooting beams from your planet to the other universal suns. You will see the energy raises.
Will we see this visibly?
There is a pattern around your planet right now that is being reconstructed, which will in fact change the actual visual sight of the energy that radiates out from this planet. And it will be a color, what you call red.
Do you mean like the aurora borealis?
Correct.
And we will begin to see this shooting out into space in places where it does not normally appear?
Correct. It will be the energy equivalent of arteries, such as in your own body. You see organs with many arteries carrying the blood, which sustains in one direction by bringing nutrients, and yet also by removing the byproducts. It is a two-way function in this manner. This planet has always had, in some certain functions, this effect. It is, however, now that the abilities of those of you on this planet will be able to physically perceive it, and also that the communication level itself will be enhanced to a higher degree. This is simply a manner in which you will then be able to participate more closely with the rest of the universe.
So this glow you're talking about means that the energy level of the planet is changing?
Correct.
And when we see it beginning to appear, we know the changes are taking place?
Correct. You have what you call hotspots, which actually are radiating in your color scheme a blue.
That's not visible to us?
Yes, it is. It is on your Earth's crust. You will be able to see it bounce off the crust.
You're not talking about the color of the sky.
No, I'm talking about the energy field. From a distance, from your Hubble Space Telescope or from any vantage point which is above your atmosphere, it will be seen that there are these rays which are extending outward from your planet in many different directions. These will not be in the character of a diffused general glow, but will be seen to have a diameter and direction. It is a singular connection.
Will this be similar to the way the sun shoots out rays?
No, not in that sense. For in the sun's emissions, we would not say uniform. It is, however, general, in that it is all over at the same time. This would be more along the lines of, perhaps if you could imagine what you would call a disco ball in your terminology, which emits singular beams of light in many different directions. They are individual beams, not a general overall broad structure of light.
So they are now appearing blue from the Hubble telescope, and they will begin to appear red?
There will be a transformation of several colors on your spectrum, which is very limited to your visible eye. You will be able to see the spectrum to the ultimate color of red within 22 years. It will be a sense of what you call a hue.
This is also the time span for the DNA activation, referred to Chapter 22.
Correct. It is all together. It is simultaneous.
Harriet.
What would happen to anyone perhaps walking through this emission on the planet? Would it do anything to their physical being? You do now.
So it's like going through dimensions. They say we go in and out of them and don't know it.
You live in dimensions presently.
And it's the same way we go in and out of them and are not aware of what's happening. More from another subject in Australia.
It's like a car. Imagine a car that has an old body. It's just the same old car you've been driving. And then you put a new engine in it. And suddenly that car begins to perform differently, even though it looks the same. And then you get another engine and you replace it. And the car keeps getting faster and faster and brighter and smarter. And then before you know it, the car is doing such good things that the body starts to change. It's like the energy of the new engine starts to reform the body. And before you know it, the chap is turned into a sports car. A beautiful, glossy, attractive vehicle. And that's what this is about. The energies that are coming in have the ability to transform the vehicle. And it will start to be different. It's going to look different. It's going to look, well, younger comes to mind. It's going to look smarter and younger. The cells of the body, the vibration of the body is changing, and is matching the vibration of the incoming energy. And the physical changes will be next.
What will those physical changes be?
Oh, the body's going to change to be lighter. And I'm getting that it will look taller. It's not that it's going to be taller, but the energy from within is somehow going to become visible on the outside. And it will make the body seem taller, elongated, slimmer, and more transparent.
Transparent?
Yes, it's a pioneering thing.
Is this the way the people on Earth will be evolving?
Yes.
Will everyone make the change?
Yes, because the people have all been given that choice. If they want to evolve with the Earth and stay here, they will evolve into this new human being. It will look different, and that's what this experiment is about. That's why Christine and others are moving the ones who don't want to evolve with the Earth. They are going to leave.
Almost crying.
And bring a lot of pain to their families. But the people who are staying must hold the light. That's a big job. To get divorced and separated from these things that are happening now. And these things are going to continue to happen until the cleansing is complete. Those who are here to stay are taking this race of people into a very new and different civilization. Those people are being tested now to see if they can hold the light when there's a disaster and not be sucked in. They're the people who will move ahead with this planet.
Almost like a last test, you mean?
Yes, the testing is going on right now. Whatever each being needs to test them, to see what they're capable of giving back to this program, how firm their commitment is, how willing they are to serve. That is all being tested now.
So each one is having their own individual test?
Yes, and the people who are finding it tough now are the ones who are staying. They're the ones who are going through the tests, but some of them are not coming through.
They're not passing the test.
No, there are some who are not.
This is what I was told by other people, that some would be left behind.
Yes.
And I thought that sounded cruel.
No, it's not cruel, because each soul is given the choice. And if they are not moving and evolving, it's because they are choosing not to. And they will reincarnate into another place of their choice. And it's all right, because it's only a game.
That's what I was told, that they would be sent where there was still negative karma to be worked out. And this planet would no longer have negativity at that point. Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, they'll stay in the old Earth. The new Earth is so beautiful. You will see colors and animals and flowers you never imagined possible. You'll see fruit that is perfect food, It doesn't have to be cooked. It's just eaten as it is. And everything that the being needs to nourish them will be there. These new fruits are developing now with the help of the star people.
Are these fruits and vegetables that we don't have on the earth now?
We don't have them. They're mutations in some ways. I'm seeing a custard apple as an example of what happened. We will have a fruit called a custard apple, and it doesn't look like an apple. It has a rough exterior, and it's about the size of 2 oranges put together. And then you open it. It's like custard inside. So that's a fruit, but a food. It's not just a fruit, but another food has been introduced to it, like custard. That's an example of one of the future foods. So these foods will be delights to the senses, and nutritious and sustaining for the... I keep being stopped when I start to say body, and I am being told to say being. They'll be nutritious for the being. And things we have now to cook, like you'd cook custard, will be incorporated into these fruits. And it has to do with helping the planet and cutting down on the use of electricity and energy. So the fruits are going to provide us with what we need.
I've heard man has done many things to the food that is not healthy for the body.
That's right. The organic foods are coming onto the earth, and those organic farmers are moving with the Earth Evolution program. That's why they're there. And that's why consciousness is being raised about this, because people need to know how to grow properly. And the Rudolf Steiner schools are teaching children this. So the children who are going to be with the new Earth will know this, and those children are now teaching in universities and in institutions, and they're spreading the word. So when the cleansing of the earth occurs, much of that toxicity is going to be pushed away. You see, the new earth is not this dimension. The new earth is another dimension. And we will move into that new dimension. And in that new dimension, there'll be these trees that have purple and orange in their trunks. And there will be beautiful rivers and waterfalls, and the energy will be brought back. There will be energy in the streams and the water that goes over rocks and sandbanks. And it hits the earth. It creates energy and will be straightened out in this world. Many of these streams have been straightened out to make them navigable and nice. That's taking away the energy from the earth. The earth is going to be cleansed. I'm seeing water.
Does this have to occur before the earth shifts and evolves into the new dimension?
I'm seeing us stepping through.
Startled.
Oh, what I'm seeing is that the people who are going to the new dimension will step through into this new world.
While the other one is being cleansed?
Yes, yes.
What do you see about the water that will happen with the cleansing?
It's not going to be shown to me.
They don't want you to see it?
No, they won't show me that. What they're showing me is an opening, and we step through. We step into what looks like this earth, but it's different colors, it's different textures. At first it looks the same, at first only. And then as we look around, we start to see that it's not. It's changing before our eyes, and it's so beautiful.
But this is not the spirit side? Because the spirit side is described as being very beautiful also.
No, it's the new earth. It's not the spirit side. It's the fifth dimensional earth. Some people will pass through before others. I'm being told to tell you now that Christine has been there several times. There's a group going to go through now, and she'll be bringing more through. And they'll be coming and going a bit until they go for good.
Then the others will be left on the old earth?
Yes, the ones that are choosing to stay will stay.
They'll be undergoing a lot of hardships, won't they?
Yes, the whole planet.
Startled.
I just saw the whole planet explode. That's horrible, isn't it?
What do you think that means?
I don't know. I just saw it explode. But I saw the new Earth. There's this beautiful fifth-dimensional place with harmony and peace.
When they showed you the planet exploding, is that just symbolic? As though the Earth will no longer exist for the ones who cross over?
Well, the people who have crossed over are watching what's happening. They can see. Now, is it going to explode? They're saying to me, don't get caught up with what's going to happen, because you've got to focus on the light. And that's the challenge for these people who are going to be in the new earth. The challenge for them is to not get caught up in anything that's going to happen, because that's what pulls us back into the third dimension. And that's what happened to many people who were on a path forward. They've been pulled back because they got caught up in the fear and the sadness and regret and the black stuff. So they're saying, you don't need to know because it wouldn't serve anybody if it were known. So really what they are saying is, focus on the good stuff. Focus on the fact that there is going to be this beautiful new existence, new dimension, that many people on the earth are going to be moving into, who are already moving into.
I was told whenever you cross over, you will be in the same physical body that you have now. You will just be changed.
Yes, you will still be in the same body, but it's going to change.
So it can be done without dying or leaving the body. It's a different thing altogether.
Yes, we just walk across. Christine's done it before, and she knows how to do it. She's done it and understands it.
But it will be sad because there will be so many people that won't understand what's happening. It's so hard with so many, I want to say ordinary, people out there who have no idea of anything except the religion they've been taught. They don't know that this other is possible.
Yes, but they're not ordinary. They only seem ordinary. It's a mask they're wearing. They're changing.
But there still are a lot of people who haven't even thought about these things.
Yes, but they'll be choosing not to awaken, and that is their choice. We have to respect that. They have been given the choice like everybody on the earth, and they have made that choice. And that's okay. It's all right. It's fine.
So if they have to go to another place to work out the negative karma, that's part of their evolvement?
Yes.
But do you see a majority of people evolving to the next dimension?
No, not the majority. And the numbers, to some extent, are not important, because what will be, will be. And the more people that can awaken and take that journey, the more people there'll be. And that's why so many of you are doing this work, to help people open up to the journey and let go of the fear, and step into that void where anything is possible, where the blackness is residing. And that's what you people are all doing, and you need to do it. And everybody you speak to then goes out and does it as well. You may not be aware of it, but you're acting like Christ. Everyone you speak to becomes a disciple, and they go out, and they in turn awaken other people. So it's working, and it's soon. It's all happening soon.
Do you have any idea of a time period?
The next years will be I'm getting the word decision point. It will be the cutoff point. I think it means that those who have not decided by then will be left behind. It's critical.
But there are some entire countries in the world that are not ready for this. That's why I am thinking there are many people that won't make the crossover.
There's more happening than people know about. I'm seeing some countries where people are being persecuted. The reason that's happening is to awaken spirituality, because persecution causes it. When people are persecuted, or when they're facing death, or when they're facing huge human feats, that is a trigger that awakens people. And that's the purpose of much of the persecution that's occurring at the moment, to make sure that these people are awakened. So that's the positive side of it.
Is there something that triggers it or precipitates it?
It's like the curtain drops, and I'm not allowed to see. I'm just being told that it will be the end of one and the beginning of another.
They're trying to lead us into war at this time, 2002. Do you think it has something to do with that?
I'm afraid that's the test. I said that many people were being tested, and I didn't realize it then, but I do now. That's all part of the test, if we can keep ourselves separated from that. It's like we have to create our own. It's like each one of us is the universe. All parts of the universe are held here.
Placed her hand on her body.
And if we keep this universe here.
This body?
Yes. If we keep it at peace and we keep it in balance, then we are passing the test. Then we can withstand anything. And those things that are happening in the world are really to test the whole, all of us.
You mean to not get caught up into the fear.
Yeah, turn the TV off. Don't listen to it. Don't read the paper. Don't get caught up in it. Your world is what you create here.
Touched her body again. In your own body.
Yes, in your own space here. This is your own universe here. If every person creates peace and harmony in their own universe, then that's the universe they're creating in that fifth-dimensional Earth. The more people who can create peace and harmony in this body universe, the more people who will be in that fifth-dimensional new Earth. The ones who can't create peace and harmony in this body universe are not passing the test. That's the test.
We're trying to do this to keep the war from happening, or to lessen it anyway.
I'm being told that it doesn't matter what happens because it's all a game, it's all a play. And the things that are happening are there for a reason. And the reason at the moment is to test each human being to find out where they're at in their own evolution. And so if we hold peace and light here,
The body.
we don't have to worry about whether there's a war or not. It's only an illusion anyway.
But right now it seems very real, and it could have some very disastrous consequences.
Yes, but that's fear for each individual. Our job is to help each individual find peace here.
The body.
And then, of course, as you bring more people together who have peace and harmony within their own body universe, then instead of the blackness spreading, that spreads. And that creates this whole new world. If you'd been given all that information back then, you would have been overloaded. It's the same reason why they're saying, we're not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. But we're not going to tell you what we know, because you don't need to know. All you need to do is focus here.
The body.
Creating your heaven on earth. Each human being creating their own heaven on earth. That's all you have to do. And coming together with others who are creating their own heaven on earth. And then expanding that energy out. And before you know it, you've changed the world. You don't even think about the world. What you focus on is what you create. Think about peace. The main thing people have to understand is that what they focus on expands. So if they focus on, if they can replace predictions with something that is wonderful that they want and expand that, then they can create their own heaven on earth. And I'm being shown in your book, The Convoluted Universe, Book 1, you give a description of thought. I'm being told to remind you about this. You talk about an energy ball the size of a grapefruit, and that ball has energy strands, and I'm changing this as I go. Energy strands which go over each other and transverse each other. And those energy strands can do anything they like. They can split, and they can become 4 energy strands. They can weave. They can multiply. They can go backwards. They can zip up. They can do absolutely anything. And this is the ball of possibility. When you think a thought, it doesn't just disappear. It becomes an energy strand. It becomes energy. It moves into that ball of possibility. So imagine your thought becoming energy. And the more energy you give it, the stronger that becomes. And then it manifests, and it becomes real. It becomes physical. If you send a thought out that there's going to be peace, and then you follow it with, oh, but that war is getting worse, or those politicians are making a mistake, you weaken the energy, the positive strand you brought out. So we have to teach people to send out the positive thought, and then to reinforce it with more positive thoughts, and more positive thoughts. And we have to teach them that when one of those negative thoughts comes into their mind, not to just let it go, but to replace it with a positive thought, so that they're adding to that energy ball of possibility. They're contributing to it. We have to teach them to do that. They do not know how to do that. And I'm being told to tell you to reinforce that the illusion, I don't know why I'm being told to tell you this, but they're saying that if we could get people to think of this conflict that's occurring in the Middle East as a movie, it would help people. The other thing I'm being told to tell you is that for every action they can make an opposite reaction. Where there's birth, there's death. And everybody must let go of any greed, any domination, materialism. Any of those issues that are stopping them from doing this work must be let go. Because these issues are not going to serve anybody in the new earth. There's not going to be the need for money as such, so why would you bother about it? Those who are working for the earth, for the universe, are being provided for and will continue to be. What you need will come to you. So it's time now to let go of that ethic of working to get the money. You're working to change the earth. You're working to save this situation. That's where the driving force must be. It must come from love and service. And that's the only way we will maximize this effort. It must come from love and service, not from greed.
I've been told love is the most powerful emotion.
Yes, love heals.
One final piece of information came through a client at my office in 2004. I believed one part of all of this was still unclear. How could some people be aware that they had made the shift into the new earth, and others would not be? How would it be possible to move an entire population with only a minority knowing anything had happened? They must have been aware that I was struggling with the lingering thought, so they supplied it. After all, how could I write about it and lecture about it if I didn't have all the pieces? Bob.
Most planets, but especially this one, was only designed originally for 550,000 people. 500,000 people. That was as large as it was supposed to go. More people are reincarnating here to experience all these major changes, and the Earth has been damaged and changed beyond the capability to repair it. This planet has been unfortunately changed in such ways that there's no sense of return whatsoever to its original pristine condition. But now, because of the prime directive from the Creator, this has to accelerate, because it's been too long. There are two ways to do this. You can cause the planet to rotate and the Earth crust to shift. And you literally, when that happens, you start all over again from ground zero. That's what touched off the Ice Age and killed all the dinosaurs. It doesn't matter how it happened, but basically it did the same thing. A civilization disappears, and you start off with the Ice Age and Neanderthal man, and all that kind of good stuff all happens again. You lose control of your entire civilization, and you end up as a legend like Atlantis and Lemuria did. This has all happened many times before, but that's not what's going to happen this time. This time you shift as a planet, and basically as a universe. You shift the whole dimension. The dimension changes. You go from 3.6, which we are now, to 5. And you say, well, what happened to 4? Well, 4 is sort of here in a way, but it's just going to jump it. You're going to end up as 5. When the dimensional change comes, you will literally jump that. There's a lot of complications with this. This is why it's being watched so carefully. Many people who are spiritually ready will be able to make the transition very easily. Others are literally going to be taken off planet in the flick of an eyelid. They won't even know it's happened, most of them. And they'll end up on another planet that's pristine, ready, and waiting for this to happen. And your capabilities will be far beyond what they are now. You have basically 5 primary senses. You'll have many more than that when the transition goes through. You will become automatically telepathic. They'll wake up in their little lives the next day, or what can be done, depending on how it's shifted. It has happened before, by the way. We will simply shut down. It's like going into suspended animation. We suspend it. It may be 2 or 3 days to transfer the populace.
The entire world, or just the...
Yes, all the people that are spiritually ready to make this transition. They'll all be shifted off, and when they wake up on this other planet, they won't even realize it's happened. There was a shift like this a few years ago on this planet with all of us, and not many people knew about it. It just was. It was like a whole week passed by in the course of a night. It has happened that way.
Why did that happen at that time?
We needed to shift the sun, technically, and we needed to be able to adjust it. And if anybody could see it, they would all know what happened. That wasn't a very practical way of doing it. So we just kind of shut everybody down.
So they wouldn't know it?
Yes, you went to sleep that night, and you slept like you thought it was a 12-hour period, and you woke up, and your watch was still running the same. But in fact, you had literally gone through a whole week.
Everyone was put into suspended animation?
Yes, you shut down the whole thing all at the same time.
While the world moved?
Oh yes, the planet moves. You have the so-called night and day, but we actually adjusted it. It was a really interesting trick to do it, but it does work. This planetary adjustment that's coming up, this frequency change thing that's coming up. You can't merely do this with everybody awake, because you're going to have all sorts of strange reactions in people. So they think they're all awake, but yet we can shut them down. It's a bit of a trick. It's very technically involved.
So they would think they were having dreams if they did see anything.
Yes, yes, precisely. But they might not have conscious remembrance of it, because don't forget, most people don't have conscious remembrance of what they dream anyway. And you can change things in dreams very easily, too.
You said this was done a few years ago.
Yes, it was. We had to make an adjustment in the sun's frequency.
So apparently that would be the answer. The entire population of the world would be shut down and put into suspended animation while the transfer was made. As Annie Kirkwood showed in her vision, as the earth split or divided into two earths, the people on each were unaware of what had happened to the others. This is also found in the Bible. In that day he who was on the housetop, and his goods are in the house, let him not come down to take them away. And likewise the one who is in the field, let him not turn back. I tell you, in that night there will be 2 men in one bed. The one will be taken, and the other left. 2 women will be grinding together. The one will be taken, and the other left. 2 men will be in the field. The one will be taken, and the other left. And they answered and said to him, Where, Lord? So he said to them, Wherever the body is, there the eagles will be gathered together. Luke 17:31-37. I have been asked many times about the Mayan calendar ending in 2012. People think that is the date for the end of the world if the Mayans could not see beyond that. I have been told that the Mayans evolved spiritually to this point, where their civilization shifted en masse to the next dimension. They stopped the calendar at 2012 because they could see this would be the time of the next major event, the shifting of the entire world into the next dimension. We will ascend to the other dimension by raising our consciousness, the vibration and frequency of our body. At first, you can continue in a physical body for a while. Then, as you gradually discover it is no longer necessary, the physical body dissolves into light, and you live with a body made of light or pure energy. This sounds very similar to several cases in this book, where the subject saw a being that glowed and was composed of pure energy. They have evolved beyond the need for a physical limiting body, and we will do this also when we reach that stage. So in many cases, when the being ascends, they take the physical body with them. But this is only a temporary situation, and the shedding and letting go of the body depends on the level of understanding the being has reached. We do tend to hold on to the familiar, but eventually see that even though we were able to take it with us, the body is too limiting and confining for the new reality in the new dimension. When we reach this new dimension, the new body of light or energy will never die. This is what the Bible meant when it referred to eternal life. The spirit side, or the in-between life state, where I have found that we go when we die in this lifetime, is like a recycling center. It leads back to another life on Earth because there is still karma to be worked out, or something that needs to be attended to. People keep returning because they have not completed their lessons or their cycles. By raising the consciousness, the frequency and vibration, there is no need to return to that place, the in-between state. It can be transcended by going to the next place where everyone is eternal, and there is no reason for recycling. We can remain there forever. This is probably the place many of my subjects refer to as home, the place they deeply miss and desire to return to. When they see it during their regressions, they become very emotional, because they have been deeply longing for it, yet not consciously knowing it existed. Chapter 31. Finale. Throughout my work, I have been told many times that we as humans are not the only feeling, sentient beings on this planet and beyond. We are so self-centered that we think we are the most important and that everything revolves around us, mostly because we don't understand what life really is. I have found that everything contains the spirit, the spark of life. This is because everything is energy. It is only vibrating at a different, faster or slower, frequency. In our striving towards a higher spiritual form, we have passed through many of these so-called lesser forms of life. We have been minerals, dirt, rocks, plants, and animals before incarnating in the human form. We are curious spirits, and we needed to experience these and learn from them before we were ready to experience lessons in a more complex, although denser, physical body. I have found that everything is alive, including the planet Earth herself. She has feelings, emotions, and needs, just as we have. Right now, she is experiencing pain, according to my sources, because of what is being done to her. According to the ETs, we are reaching the point of no return, where the damage cannot be reversed. At that point, we will ascend into the new Earth, because the old one is no longer capable of handling the stress. But if the Earth itself is alive, does it stop there? I have been told that it goes beyond this, even further out into the cosmos. We are all part of a larger living and functioning being, which we call the universe. This means that the universe itself is an organized, huge something that is alive and has feelings. You may want to call this something God, but it is even more complex than that. Everything that makes up the universe, stars, planets, etc., could be considered cells in the body of God. Cells that compose the body of this huge something. And we are nothing more than the tiniest cells in the circulation process. Although we may be something so minute, we are not insignificant, because in our evolution and growth, it is possible for us to constantly rise upward through the morass of life. I have been told that the reincarnation process is something less than to be desired. Through this process, we constantly go back and forth between Earth and the spirit world. It is like a processing station where we go to judge ourselves and decide to come back to correct karma. The main objective should be to get out of this rut and proceed beyond the physical. It is said that we can attain that when we bypass the holding station of the spirit world and go directly to the higher spirit levels, where the accumulation of karma and the correction of it are no longer required. Then we can progress in a different way and no longer be burdened by the physical body. This is all part of the ascension process, to proceed directly into the next world by raising our frequency and vibration and bypass the need to die and go to the spirit world. The universe is a highly complex organism living in many dimensions at the same time, composed of layers and layers of consciousness relating to all the other organisms within it. It has the power to create and relate to all of these at the same time individually. This could be what they have called the collective. This is also because we collectively have thought it into existence by intent. At some time in the far distant past, we were all one. We were all part of the collective, the one, the great central sun, the source, God, whatever you want to call it. Many of my subjects remember this existence while in trance, and it always causes great unhappiness when they separate from it, because the togetherness was of great comfort and love. They did not want to leave, and felt a great sadness and a feeling of separation when they were forced out into the cosmos. Because the source wanted to experience, curiosity is not strictly a human trait. Maybe this is where the desire to explore came from. We all, as part of the source, as co-creators, helped it begin to create. We helped it create out of nothing, or out of dust, as is reported in several legends, and stars, planets, rocks, streams, plants, animals, and humans came into being. Then we decided, or were told, to go and inhabit these things and report back to the source what this was like. It is said that it is all nothing but an illusion. If this is correct, then it is being held together by our collective perception. We have helped think it into existence, and our combined perception holds it there. In my book, Between Death and Life, I was told that God could be thought of as the glue that holds everything together. If he were to wink out for a fraction of a second, everything would instantly vaporize. In this book we were told that between each in-breath and out-breath, this is where God exists. Looking at it from this perspective, we are all collectively God. What we perceive as accurate may not be when viewed from the spiritual side. Everything we have in our lives and with which we interact is brought into physical reality because we want it there. This is possible because thoughts are real. Thoughts are things. Once formed, thoughts exist forever, and the more they are reinforced, the more physical and denser, more real they become. This is why we can change our lives and circumstances, because we are more powerful than we realize. We constantly create our reality, and we are capable of changing that reality. But it often takes the combined power of many to do this, because what we have created has grown so big and powerful that it has taken on a life of its own. Maybe this is the reason for the creation of the new earth, because the one we are aware of has reached the point that it is incapable of being helped or changed. Within the matrix of the universe are all the building blocks of reality, all the possibilities and probabilities that we can create from. We can have heaven or hell in our lives because we are powerful enough to do this once we understand the process and use our minds to create it. Many times the electrical fields that contain these possibilities are disrupted by discordant intentions and negativity results, as it has lately. When negativity begins, it can be reinforced by people who accept this as a reality, and then it comes into form. We can just as easily have peace and love as our reality once we understand and put to use the power of our mind. As Nostradamus said in my books about him and his predictions, you do not realize the power of your own mind. By focusing on the reality you desire, you can create it. Your energy is scattered. Once you learn how to focus and direct it, you are capable of creating miracles. And if the power of one man's mind is that powerful, think of the power of group mind once it is harnessed. The power of the focusing of many people's minds is not only multiplied, it is squared. Then miracles can truly occur. It appears that we choose the parts and the general script of the play that we will participate in during each life. However, everyone else also chooses their parts in the play. It is like participating in a play where the script is created as it progresses. and it can be changed at any point in order to make the play more dramatic. This is because of free will, and everyone's actions influences everyone else's actions. During our Earth lives, we can create and experience as many different types of lives, roles, and characters as we wish. Fame, riches, or poverty, murderer or victim, great love or great despair, war or peace, etc. William Shakespeare understood this when he wrote, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts." No matter what we accomplish, it is only temporary as a stage play, and eventually the curtain descends. Then all we have left to take with us are the memories of the experiences, and hopefully the lessons we have learned. These are incorporated into our real self, our off-stage self, our observer self, our eternal soul self or oversoul, which stores these memories and experiences. They are eventually transferred to the computer storage banks of the highest of all, the Source or God entity. Nothing in the play has gone to waste, whether we were playing the hero or villain. It all adds to the store of knowledge of the universe. Of such things, new creations are constantly being formed. Each time a soul returns to the Earth Theater, they sign up for the next play or game, and are handed a new script with many blank pages, which will be filled in by the actors as the play progresses. Totally unrehearsed and open to all suggestions and possibilities. Nothing is right or wrong as the actors play their parts. It is all about experience, the learning of lessons, resolution of indebted karma, and the creation of new situations for the enlightenment and learning of others. It is said that no man is an island. Everything we do or say affects someone. If we understood this, we would be more careful of the effects our words and deeds have on others. We would be more aware of how these words and deeds are being recorded into the halls of knowledge. With each new life we draw, often unconsciously, upon the store of knowledge we have gained from other lessons. As we apply the knowledge to our present life play, hopefully we will have learned from past mistakes and not make those mistakes again. Then when we get tired of repeatedly going on stage and trying new scripts, we will choose to retire, return to the great stage manager, and allow the newer, or stubborn, slow-learning souls to play the parts for a while. This is what many of my clients refer to as going home. This is the natural state that the soul knew in its beginning, at its creation. The state it knew before it became entrapped in the physical world, the stage world, the third-dimensional world of illusion. By this time we have hopefully gained enough wisdom and understanding to allow us to progress in other ways in other realms of existence. The possibilities are endless, and we have no need to return to this theater, except maybe as an observer or guide. We are living in exciting times. The study of the laws of metaphysics and the laws of the universe are no longer for the few who were considered strange. It is spreading into the masses at an alarming rate. It is as though it has been just below the surface, just out of the reach of our logical thinking mind. Now it is emerging into the light of day to be studied and analyzed. It no longer seems strange and foreboding, but perfectly natural and normal. We have blocked our minds from pursuing this way of thinking too long. It is now time to open the floodgates and let it change our lives for the better. If everyone realized how their thoughts and deeds affected themselves, their friends and neighbors, their community and city, and eventually the world, through the accumulated effect of energy, they would learn to monitor their daily lives and the world would change. It has to, because of the accumulated effect of energy. We are moving into a new world, and the old negativity will be left behind. Through the law of cause and effect, which is really nothing less than the golden rule in the Bible. There can be no more violence and war. We can change the world, one person at a time. This was what Jesus was trying to teach, and they didn't understand. Love is the answer. It is that simple. As our minds evolve, we are being spoon-fed more and more complicated information. We can never know it all because our minds would not be able to handle it. But it appears that our minds are being expanded to comprehend more complicated theories. If Alice in Wonderland succeeded in finding a portal to another dimension, the question now is, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? There is much more knowledge out there than we can possibly imagine. I am a reporter, an adventurer. I will keep accumulating information and trying to present it to the world. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole I want to go. I have no idea how deep it is, and how many twists and turns will be along the way. Yet I invite my readers to join me as I travel the dimensions of the unknown and attempt to find out. The adventure and the journey will continue. There is no stopping it. Author page. Dolores Cannon, a regressive hypnotherapist and psychic researcher who records lost knowledge, was born in 1931 in St. Louis, Missouri. She was educated and lived in St. Louis until her marriage in 1951 to a career Navy man. She spent the next 20 years traveling all over the world as a typical Navy wife and raising her family. In 1970, her husband was discharged as a disabled veteran, and they retired to the hills of Arkansas. She then started her writing career and began selling her articles to various magazines and newspapers. She has been involved with hypnosis since 1968 and exclusively with past life therapy and regression work since 1979. She has studied the various hypnosis methods and thus developed her own unique technique, which enabled her to gain the most efficient release of information from her clients. Dolores is now teaching her unique technique of hypnosis all over the world. In 1986, she expanded her investigations into the UFO field. She has done on-site studies of suspected UFO landings and has investigated the crop circles in England. The majority of her work in this field has been the accumulation of evidence from suspected abductees through hypnosis. Dolores is an international speaker who has lectured on all the continents of the world. Her 13 books are translated into 20 languages. She has spoken to radio and television audiences worldwide, and articles by Dolores have appeared in several U.S. and international magazines and newspapers. Dolores was the first American and the first foreigner to receive the Orpheus Award in Bulgaria for the highest advancement in the research of psychic phenomenon. She has received Outstanding Contribution and Lifetime Achievement Awards from several hypnosis organizations. Dolores has a very large family who keep her solidly balanced between the real world of her family and the unseen world of her work. If you wish to correspond with Dolores about her work, private sessions, or her training classes, please submit to the following address. Please enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope for her reply. Dolores Cannon, P.O. Box 754, Huntsville, Arkansas 72740, USA, or email her at decannon@msn.com or through our website www.ozarkmt.com. That's OZARKMT.com. This has been the